Okay, so you're gonna have an outdoor living space. You got your choice between concrete, stamped concrete, pavers. What's the difference between them? How do you know which one to use? How do you figure into what somebody should use, Tom?
Well, that's a loaded gun question. So, basically at the end of the day, it comes down to money. Regular concrete is obviously the cheaper end. Stamped concrete is the middle end, and your pavers are the higher end.
And stamped concrete, is that where you're putting concrete and then putting a pattern in it or something?
That is correct. We're basically stamping different patterns, different textures, different colors.
Yeah.
Realistically, I hate to sound like this, stamped concrete was never designed to stamp. They just found a trend and they went with it. So, it's not going to be 100% perfect because once again, we're using concrete that we don't make. Someone else is making it.
Yeah.
It's like baking a cake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got
you provide the cake, I provide the frosting, and no offense, your cake might not taste good. So, once again, you just never know. End of the day, it comes down to preference and colors. The hot color right now is doing grays. Everybody is the gray family right now. Ashlar slate is a #1 pattern that we've been using a lot lately. Everybody likes the different size patterns.
Yeah. And now let's talk pavers. And what are pavers? That's putting down stones, individual, correct?
Yeah, so basically, let's just say we're paving a patio. Today we still like to put down our concrete because that's a great base for Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
Especially the temperatures. One day it's 70 degrees, one day it's 30. It's the heat of the different product. Back in the day, we used to put it on 411 base, and it was just every 3-5 years we're fixing pavers.
Wow, really? Well, let me ask you, between concrete, stamped concrete, and pavers, getting back to how winters.
Yeah.
Is there one that's gonna take less maintenance, I guess, 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
Regular concrete. Technically, you're supposed to seal concrete every couple of years.
Yeah, right, yep.
Same with your stamped concrete. You're supposed to do that every other year. Same with your pavers. So the higher end, between the pavers and stamped concrete, you almost have to refinish it every couple of years.
Okay. You've worked with all these. Is there like a favorite project you've done out there?
I love working with pavers. It's been hot. We've been putting pavers around pools lately. Not only that, nice big pool coping and just shows off the pool very well.
Yeah.
Having your pool coping, then going into a different color than your different designs. So, pavers are changing. We're kind of going towards the California style a little bit.
What is that? What's the California style?
The more modern stuff.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So once again, the colors are hot. The different techniques people have been using. There's so many different styles of pavers that we've been using. Some are a lot easier to work with versus other ones. We did a job last year around a pool, and these slabs were 150 pounds each. So it took two guys to.
Well, you got to make sure those are in shape. A lot of budging and nudging to get those in there, huh?
Yeah, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, but at the end of the day, it was amazing. The homeowners I like the big paver look, and
it looks strong. It looks permanent. I mean, it's like Greek. It's like just this thing that's going to be there forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only that, we put polymetric sand, so the different seams pop out.
Oh,
so we always try to go. If you're doing like a gray, we might go with a darker color like a black, or depends on the color too.
And obviously, you help with the design if they want that in terms of what can happen there.
Yeah, absolutely. The #1 thing is we'll go through different pricing, figure out what your budget is. #1. #2 is figure out what kind of pavers you want to fit your budget. Because some of these pavers today, you would never believe, would just
crazy.
Sticker shock. Yeah. Even on my end, you're like, wow, how much? Yes, you just never know.
Well, and some of them are 150 pounds. Show us your muscle. Let's see that.
Whoa,
all right.
I don't actually physically go out there and work anymore.
Well, he's doing all the thinking, so it's all the muscles out there. So hey, if you want a really, really great looking outdoors, whether it's concrete, whether it's stamped concrete, whether it's pavers, I give Tom a call.
Thank you.